The monarch, 95, whose horse King's Lynn is running in the King's Stand Stakes on the first day of the famous meet, will be watching the racing on television from Windsor Castle on Tuesday. But her racing manager John Warren said Her Majesty may attend later in the week. Mr. Warren told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "Obviously the Queen would love to attend, as you know she's fanatic about racing, watching racing and breeding horses, and has been going to Ascot all of her adult life. So, it's a shame to miss an event. The plan at the moment is to see how it goes towards the latter part of the week, and if the Queen's able to come because she's got runners, then, fingers crossed, it will happen." Mr. Warren also described the monarch as fanatic about horse racing. And he praised her incredible energy levels despite being just 5 years away from turning 100. The monarch's racing manager said, "It's remarkable. The Queen's energy levels are incredible. She's 95. She went down to the G7 this week, and trundled back on the train in the middle of the night, and the energy will be raised higher again for a week like Ascot." The Queen has a number of runners at the Berkshire racecourse, with Mr. Warren tipping Tactical in the Jersey Stakes on Saturday as a potential winner. Racegoers are being welcomed back to Royal Ascot for the first time since the pandemic began. Hunters dressed in glamorous dresses and hats and smart suits will cheer on the jockeys over the next 5 days. However, there will be no traditional carriage procession if the Queen does makes an appearance. The monarch will also not be able to examine horses in the paddock, as she usually does, because of the COVID restrictions on movement between areas. Mr. Warren said, "In the past, she would have gone and looked at horses in the paddock, even though they weren't hers, because she is so fascinated in the breed, so she'd want go and look at the stallion prospects of the future." The Queen's racing manager described how she scrutinizes the winners of every race daily to see if the stallions offer potential for breeding. He said, "Every race that takes place every day of the week, the Queen will certainly read the Racing Post every morning, look at the breeding of all the winners the day before, and see that these stallions that she uses will be potential horses for her own mares. It's a deep fascination, a very broad escapism for all the other things that the Queen has to deal with in her life." Bookmaker William Hill has already opened a book on a favourite bet among racegoers, the colour of the Queen's hat, with blue the early favourite with odds of 3-1. Ascot was staged behind closed doors last year, but this year was selected to take part in the government's events research programme on behalf of the sport of racing. Each day 12,000 racegoers will be allowed to watch the sporting spectacle after providing negative COVID-19 tests. The monarch, who is the nation's longest reigning sovereign, has kept busy with her duties as head of state since the death of her beloved husband Prince Philip in April.